Every year around Christmas, the same thing happens. Somebody gets engaged, somebody posts a ring, somebody soft launches a fiancé. It's almost predictable at this point, but nobody expected this, because out of nowhere, Jojo Siwa opened Snapchat and posted what looked like a full bridal portrait of herself. White veil, tiara, diamond jewelry, wedding core aesthetic turned all the way up. And across the image, she wrote two simple words: "Call me wife." No engagement announcement, no ring reveal, no "we're getting married." No explanation at all. Just married energy, dropped casually into the timeline like it was a selfie. And that's exactly why people froze. The last public update anyone had was that Jojo is dating Chris Hughes. Not engaged, not planning a wedding, dating. Then suddenly she's presenting herself as a bride. Like 5 chapters of the story got skipped overnight. Group chats exploded, comment sections filled up. People started asking if they missed something major. Did Jojo get married in secret? Did Snapchat roll out a new filter that comes with a marriage license? Or was this another Jojo moment that only makes sense if you've been watching her for years? Because this didn't come completely out of nowhere. A few days earlier, Jojo had already posted AI-generated images of herself and Chris as a future family. Not just vague couple photos. Full-on husband, wife, kids, suburban fantasy visuals. Detailed, polished, very intentional. So when the bridal image dropped, it didn't feel random. It felt like the next step in a pattern. Jojo doesn't ease into phases. She doesn't test the water. She jumps hard. If she feels something, she goes all the way immediately and figures out the rest in public. We've seen this before. She publicly came out and shared she had a girlfriend. Not long after that, she was on Celebrity Big Brother getting very close with a man. Then she entered another relationship. Then another shift. Then another identity update. Her life has always moved fast. Her emotions move even faster. So while some people were shocked, a lot of others weren't. They saw the bridal post and said, yeah, that feels very Jojo. But what made this moment different is that it wasn't just about aesthetics anymore. It lined up with something Jojo had said recently that changed how people interpreted everything. A couple weeks before the bridal images, Jojo and Chris did an interview together. During the conversation, Jojo casually said that if Chris doesn't propose by the 7-year mark, she'll do it herself. No joking tone, no nervous laugh, no, just kidding. She gave a timeline. She gave a year. She said it confidently. And the internet immediately stopped looking at Jojo and started looking at Chris because his energy shifted. People replayed the clip over and over, pointing out how he barely looked at her when she said it, how his body stiffened, how he seemed fine when the conversation was hypothetical, but got noticeably uncomfortable when commitment became real. Some viewers said he looked panicked. Others said he looked trapped. A few went even further, claiming he wants the benefits of being with Jojo without the long-term responsibility. Whether that's fair or not, one thing became clear. They don't seem to be in the same place emotionally. Jojo talks like someone who's already mentally married. Chris reacts like someone who just realized this relationship might be moving way faster than he expected. And that disconnect is what made the bridal images feel less playful and more loaded. Because now it doesn't look like a joke. Like it looks like Jojo manifesting a future that might not be mutual. And this is where a deeper layer comes in that a lot of people don't talk about. Jojo didn't grow up discovering herself. She grew up performing. From a very young age, her life was structured around cameras, competitions, branding, and visibility. Her mom managed the career, the image, the deals, the persona. Bows, costumes, catchphrases, music, merch. Everything was decided early. When your entire childhood is mapped out by adults and audiences, you don't get many chances to ask who you actually are. So when the child star era fades, there's often a massive identity gap. Some former child stars disappear and quietly figure themselves out. Others do the opposite. They chase permanence, relationships, marriage, family. Something solid that feels real in a world that suddenly feels empty. That context changes how Jojo's speed starts to look. It doesn't feel like chaos. It feels like someone desperately trying to anchor themselves to something stable. Which makes another detail even more interesting. Jojo has been very open about how much her family loves Chris. Not polite approval, not he's nice. Obsessed. She's said her mom loves him, her dad is close with him, her brother treats him like he's already family. She even emphasized that her family doesn't warm up to people easily, which makes their reaction to Chris feel special. And the internet immediately started connecting dots. Because before Chris, Jojo was dating Kath Ebbs. That relationship lasted around 3 months, and it didn't end quietly. And Kath went public, saying they felt blindsided by the breakup. They implied that parts of their relationship played out in a space Jojo treated like entertainment, rather than real life. It was messy, emotional, uncomfortable to watch. So when Jojo now says her family has never loved someone like they love Chris, fans start asking uncomfortable questions. Did her family truly support her relationship with Kath, or did they tolerate it? Because the contrast is loud. Add to that the fact that Jojo came out as pansexual in 2021, and more recently has described herself as gay, and people start feeling like they're watching a constant reshuffling of identity. Some critics argue she leans into certain labels or personas when they align with her brand moment, then quietly pivots when she wants a new direction. Whether that's true or not, that conversation has been following her for years. Which brings us to the rebrand. Jojo recently changed her name on TikTok from Jojo to Joelle, her real first name. On the surface, it seems simple. But symbolically, it feels bigger, like she's trying to separate herself from the character. Jojo Siwa is the bows, the glitter, the kid brand, the packaged personality. Joelle is supposed to be the adult, the real person, the grown woman. The problem is, the transition isn't clean. Her profile picture is still Dance Mom's Jojo. Her past image is still front and center, so she's stuck in this strange in-between. Trying to be taken seriously as an adult while still being visually tied to a child star identity. And every time she releases something new, the internet compares it to what came before. Case in point, her cover of Bette Davis Eyes. Shortly after Jojo released her version, Kim Carnes, the original artist, posted a message talking about the difference between singing a song and truly embodying it. She spoke about authenticity, about living inside a performance, not just copying it. She didn't name Jojo, but everyone knew. Then the post disappeared, which somehow made it louder. Moments like that feed into the same ongoing criticism, that Jojo performs adulthood the way she once performed childhood. Big gestures, big visuals, big declarations, but not always depth. So when you zoom out and look at everything together, the bridal AI photos, the family fantasy images, the proposal timeline, Chris's uncomfortable reaction, the identity shifts, the rebrand, the unresolved past relationships. It paints a much more complicated picture than Jojo is in love. It looks like someone racing toward a version of life they hope will finally make them feel grounded. And that's why the real question isn't whether Jojo and Chris will get engaged. The real question is, are they actually building the same future? Or is Jojo building a future in her head that Chris hasn't agreed to yet? Because right now, it feels like two very different timelines are running at once. And when that happens, it usually doesn't end quietly. This story doesn't feel finished, not even close.